Hello.
Hey, Caitlin, I'm driving right now.
Hey. Awesome. Hi, Kim. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. I think we should have a few more people joining and then we'll start getting into it. Fingers crossed everything I say makes sense because that's always a 50-50 shot. I'm guessing it'll be about 20 or so minutes of me just kind of going over step by step all the content and kind of piece by piece all the different components of the challenge. And then after that, we'll have times for like Q&A or questions or whatever the case may be that you guys end up needing. So should be good. I know last time we did this, we were able to wrap it up in right about 40 minutes. So hopefully it won't be too long. But obviously, if we need to go over, if any of you guys need calls, like one-on-one calls to go over your stuff, we can always do that later. So if you have questions at any point when I'm going through stuff, unmute, let me know. Because I'm sure if one person has questions, most of the time everyone else does too with it. So people can kind of filter in. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. And we'll get going. Okay, so welcome to the challenge. Like I said, this is just gonna kind of go over everything. I'm gonna start with some of the more, I want to say kind of technical, simple stuff. So we're gonna go over how you guys are gonna book sessions. We're gonna go over the app that we're using for the challenge first. And then after that, we'll get more into kind of the nutrition part because most of the time that's what people have the most questions on. So I want to save that part a little bit more towards the end. So let's go ahead. We'll just put this up here. Okay, I'm gonna do all this on my computer. Most of you guys will be doing it on your phone, so obviously it might look a little bit different, but you're gonna be booking sessions the same way that you normally do in the members app. You guys should have it all downloaded. If you still haven't been able to get access to it at all, let me know and we can kind of stay on after to go through it. But once you get in, this is going to be the home screen. You'll go down to schedule. Make sure you go to classes, pick a date that has not passed. And then when you go to book your session, normally you just click on the session, you click reserve, and it'll automatically book it for you. Now that you guys have both your normal monthly membership and the challenge in there, I would recommend booking with the challenge stuff. It's just going to make things easier. Otherwise, you're going to start booking on your monthly and then you're going to forget when you ran out and then you're going to have to go back to the challenge. So I would just book with the challenge. This is that unlimited membership. It'll stay in your account until the challenge is over. And you can book as many sessions as you want to with it. Most of you guys have told me whether you're planning on coming 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and I'm getting your guys' programs built out for that. There were a couple people that were like, I can for sure come 2 or 3 times, but I don't know if I could come a fourth. But there's probably some weeks that I'll be able to. So if that's the case, what I did, this is what your guys' programs are going to look like. This is an example one, so obviously stuff will be looking different based on what each of you need. But if you're like, I know I'm coming 3, I might be coming 4. These first 3 are going to be your main ones that you're going to want to make sure that you're getting in each week. The last day, or if you're only coming in 2, but you have 2 optional ones, then the last 2 days, those ones are your optional ones. So those ones are like for the weeks that you can get in, get those in. Um, for the most part, you guys are going to have a leg day, then some sort of blood flow day, and then your upper body day, and then any extra stuff at the end. Just like any other program, next week's going to be kind of trial and error with it. We're going to see how stuff's feeling, see how your body responds. I will say with this structure, people tend to be a little bit sore. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's going to be normal next week, but if there's anything that exercise wise just seems like it wasn't cooperating well with your body, let me know and we'll make those adjustments on it. So really the main thing, just use the challenge thing when you're booking sessions. Other than that, everything should be going smoothly. I would strongly encourage you, because there are 11 of you guys doing the challenge, and everyone's now on an unlimited membership. And we have already a lot of other people that are not doing the challenge. Sessions are going to start booking up. Take 10 minutes today, sit down with your calendar, and try to book out what you can for the full 6 weeks. You will be able to book maybe minus 1 or 2 days at the end of that 6 weeks. You'll be able to book everything else starting today. So go in there, get ahead of it. The last thing I want is like 3 weeks in, all of a sudden you can't get the times that you guys need. And then that means that you're not coming in, and then stuff starts falling off the bandwagon and all that stuff that goes with it. So really, really try to get in, book stuff out as far as you can. If you don't see the challenge thing in your account, or if you have any issues with it, I am going to be around all weekend, so shoot me texts. My goal is to be available to answer all your guys' questions, so you guys are hitting the ground Monday, ready to go. Any questions right now on programming, on the app, the members app in terms of booking? Everything makes sense?
I just had one question.
Yeah.
How many participant is it is in one session? Like how many people are in
Up
one
to
session?
5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so up to 5 people. Now, I'm not going to speak for other coaches. However, if it is people that I have seen a lot, there's no one that's like brand new. Like it's you guys and it's some original like members and stuff. I'm okay running stuff on like a half hour or like working with you to make sure that you can get in. But that's for me, that's not for other coaches. So if there's ones where you're like, hey, I'm on the wait list, let me know and I'll see if I can manipulate stuff to be able to get you in if it's already full at the 5.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Anything else session wise? Awesome. Okay. So next thing we're going to get into is the app that you guys should have all downloaded that is going into all the challenge stuff. So I believe this was the day I wanted to show you guys. So up until now, you guys have kind of been seeing the same message on there over and over and over and over again, which is like, go back to day 1 to complete your lessons. That is because we always have a couple people that join the challenge after I already assign it to you guys. So I need to put those reminders in there so that they actually go back and give me their intake form and give me all of the stuff that I need them to so then I can get them their nutrition stuff. So starting today, you should be seeing new lessons, you should be seeing new action items, you should be seeing new stuff in there. When you go into your app, you're going to have all of these different lessons. Most of them are just kind of things for you to be aware of, keep an eye on, you know, mindset stuff, habit-based stuff, growth mindset, like different things that will help you to kind of tackle the mental side of this challenge because it is a challenge and it can get hard, especially towards that like 3 to 5 week mark. Gets a little tough in there. So you'll see a lot of different content. It is going to be started very front loaded. So the first 2 weeks of the challenge, you're going to be having probably 1 to 3 lessons per day, Monday through Friday. There's not too much on the weekends, but you'll have 1 to 3 lessons per day for those first 2 weeks. After that, it starts to taper off a little bit because you guys will be more in the groove with everything. You'll have a good idea about what's going on. You'll have some tools already kind of in your tool belt to be able to use. So just make sure that you're taking the time the next couple weeks, find a way to build it into your daily life, and really go through and do the activities that are in those lessons because they're really helpful. There'll be some info on kind of the weigh-in. Weigh-ins we're going ideally on Monday, but sometime at the start of the week, every week for the duration of the challenge. When you do that, there is a data, I don't have it up on here, but there's a data portion on your app. You're going to go into that data portion and upload your weight, your body fat percentage, and your muscle mass. There are other things if you want to upload it. You can upload stuff on sleep. You can upload your steps on there. You can do whatever else. Go for it if you want to be able to see all those numbers and if that helps you with the accountability. If it doesn't and I just need those 3 numbers, then that's also totally fine. So weigh-ins are going to be at the start. There will be a little action item down here on Mondays as a reminder to do it and then to both upload it so that way I can see it. If you have any issues with it, let me know. Someone should be available. There's always a coach there on Mondays to get the InBody open. If you got issues with it, let me know. So those are kind of the main lessons. You'll be getting a lot of texts from me. There'll be reminders because if you guys do need to set up calls, my calendar is going to be uploaded into, you'll get a link for it. It'll be uploaded into those text messages. Feel free to use that to book calls with me. If you guys have like one-off questions, if you know that you're going out this weekend and this is the restaurant that you're going to and you have no idea how to adjust your points and adjust your nutrition so that you're staying in line with stuff, we can hop on a call and kind of talk through that process. If you're just like, hey, it's been a really off week and I don't know what I need to do to try to get back on track, use that. It is, I'm going to be able to help you guys as much as you communicate with me. So definitely let me know. The more you can let me know, the better on it. So that'll be available for you. Those check-in texts are going to go out on, the link will go out, I think, Wednesdays. On Mondays, you're going to get a text from me that has some questions for you to fill out, just so I can kind of touch base with you. Scale of 1 to 10, how did last week go? What's something that you felt like you accomplished the week prior? I don't remember what the other ones are, but they'll kind of be going out on a weekly basis so that way you guys can reflect on them. And then, hi, Tyler. Uh, Sundays, Saturdays, you'll get texts about just like meal prep reminders. So there's like a lot of stuff that will go out. Keep an eye out on all of it. I promise I'm the one that's answering them, so it's not like a robot that's doing it. Please ask me questions. You guys have been really good so far already about using the message feature in the app, so keep doing that. You guys are doing great. So that's the other part of the things in this app. And then we also have these little action items. Some of them are going to be consistent day to day. Might get a little monotonous, but it's important. Did you follow your nutrition parameters? Did you do your daily movement? Because even on the days that you're not in the gym, you are still getting some level of daily movement in. So whether that is activation sessions, which should be on today's lesson, whether it's a walk, whether it's yoga, Pilates, a bike ride, going on a swim, I don't care what it is, but it's some level of daily activity on it. So those two questions are going to be there for the whole 7 days a week, 6 weeks for this challenge. These little dart board ones, those are going to be for our mini challenges. So every week there's going to be some sort of mini challenge. On this challenge in the spring, which is the one that I'm showing you guys, this week's one was a 15-minute or more walk every single day during that week. There's some that involve sled. There's some that involve the bike. There's some that are going outside and doing some sort of outside activity. There's some about drinking water. So they all kind of have a different purpose, a different focus, and they'll vary week to week. It's a fun little way to kind of keep things more entertaining so it doesn't, become monotonous too much. So if you did the challenge, great, you click the check mark. At the end of the day, if you didn't, click the X with it. Pretty simple to do. This is one that, again, will pop up on that Monday about doing the check-in messages. And then I think that covers most of the stuff in this app. It's really the lessons and the action items are the main ones, and then just keeping an eye on the messages so that way you can respond to me and I can, keep in contact with you guys. Questions on any of that so far? I feel like that was a lot of me rambling. So what do you guys got? Nothing? Okay, cool. As the challenge goes on, I'm sure stuff will pop up with it. What are we saying? All made sense. Lovely. Okay, so now probably the part that we're going to have a lot of questions on. At least we normally do. All the nutrition stuff. So for everyone that has gotten me their food log, which I believe are about 6 of you guys right now, you'll be getting your nutrition stuff later today. For those of you that have not gotten me your food log, this is your not so gentle reminder / shove to please get it to me today. It takes me some time to go through, take your logs, put it in a way that's easy for me to digest, get you your points, get you some sample meal plan examples and all that type of stuff. So the sooner you can get it for me, the better. At this point, if you're like, I only have 4 days done, don't care, send me those 4 days. Give me what you have on it because I want to make sure that I can get you stuff and you guys have time to like go grocery shopping or prep stuff if you need to prep stuff before Monday. So I want to try to get everyone their stuff by later tonight. This 6 week nutrition playbook, you guys will all have access to starting today. This is a very in-depth outline content on how we are kind of structuring and looking at the nutrition. So biggest thing is we are not doing macro counting in the way that most people do, like if it fits my macros type counting. We're doing a point system. So that means that each of you guys, based on your intake form, based on your goals, based on how frequently you're coming in and what your current nutrition looks like, will be getting some number of points assigned to you. You're going to have a number for protein points, a number for carb points, and a number for fat points. I'm taking care of all those calculations. We're going to give it a good week or two at kind of where your initial numbers are. And if all of a sudden you're like, I'm starving, or I feel really bloated, or I'm really tired, if there's some feedback that we're getting from your body, then I will go ahead and adjust those points as we get a little bit more into the challenge. But we're going to give it a week or two for your guys' body to get adjusted because it is going to be some changes just based on kind of the logs that I've been seeing from people. Give it a week or two, let your body adjust, and then we can reevaluate where those points lie. The points all still correlate to a certain number of grams with it. So one protein point is going to be worth 10 grams. So if you have 10 protein points per day, you're looking at about 100 grams of protein that we're trying to get in. But this makes it just a little bit easier so that we're not having to count to a T exactly how much protein, how many carbs. We're using the points as like a rounding thing. So if you get something that has 18 grams of protein in it, we're going to call it 2 protein points just to make the switch a little bit easier. You're rounding to the half or whole point. And in all of the kind of examples that I send you guys on how you can make tweaks to your current diet, you'll see the exact breakdown of how those points lie out on a meal to meal and then a day-to-day basis. Most of you guys have been tracking in some sort of app to send me your food logs. If you guys want to keep doing that, great. You don't need to. I'm totally good with you guys using more of the portion size to gauge how much you're eating. So like if we're looking for protein, we're looking for about the size of your palm if it's 4 ounces. Some of you guys are up to like 6, so you would do this plus half of your palm, stuff along those lines. Some people really like doing the scale because it's a little bit more accurate. It gets pretty tedious. I wouldn't recommend it for this because the goal on this challenge is to teach you guys how to know what you're eating day to day for the rest of your lives, right? We're not trying to get, I know where every single gram of every single thing is. We want more that realistic. Let's not say that we had 3 chips when we really had 30, but realistic gauge of how much food you're getting in. So use this portion size. That's what I would recommend. Fist is going to be mainly for carbs, your pastas, your rices, stuff along those lines. Palm is going to be mainly for your proteins. Handful, some of your fats like nuts. 2 handfuls for veggies. Thumb is stuff like cheeses, peanut butters, kind of your, again, higher fat type foods that are more dense. And then tip of the thumb is mainly like oils, cooking oils, stuff along those lines. I did see a question pop up. If you like the macro counting, you can totally keep doing it. I'm just going to give you the stuff in points. So there were a couple people last time where they're like, hey, I've been using my Fitness Pal for ages. I like my Fitness Pal. I know my Fitness Pal. And all they did was they took what points I told them. They converted it into grams, uploaded it, like changed their exact thing in the app, ran with it from there. So I don't have an issue with you doing it, but because we're trying to make this more accessible and more able to maintain it even when the challenge is over, most people, if they're tracking, they get done with the challenge and then they stop tracking. Um, so we're trying to make it just a little bit broader, but if it works for you and you know it works for you, I am not going to stop you from tracking it. So feel free to, and I can also help you make those swaps if you need to. But all of the like nutrition stuff will be based in points. Cool. So once you guys have your points, once you guys kind of know what you're doing, the next question that we always get asked is, well, how do we know what is in what? And that's where these fun little charts come in. So we have spent some time looking at a lot of the common foods that most of you guys eat, and we went and we took it and we broke it down into these charts. So we have stuff for if you were just eat everything standard diet, what does stuff look like? This is especially for protein, mainly going to be your meats, your fishes, eggs, some protein powder, stuff along those lines. If you're vegan, we did one for what does it look like when you're vegan, because as you can see, a lot of this stuff does have more carbs, more fats in it than just regular stuff, regular animal product. So now you can kind of see how those points might end up changing and how we might need to adjust stuff in order to keep you within those point totals. We also have it for vegetarians, if you're dairy free, and then we have all your carb sources. These are more kind of your rices, your grains, some beans, and then we start getting into all of the fruits and veggies. Um, there's a lot of fruits and veggies out there. We're working on getting this more cohesive. We have added probably 50 plus items since the last time people did the challenge. If there is anything that you're like, hey, I know that even if it's not something that, is in my example meal plans, like I really want to eat ABC, XYZ, let me know. I am constantly building this out more, and I can easily get you guys what those points look like, so that way you have a better idea about where things lie with it. So those are all your carbs. We go into fats. Again, kind of your standard fats, vegan fats, vegetarian fats. And then we also did some kind of like packaged foods. A lot of these are like better for you options for like popcorn or for tortilla chips. If you like the little chickpea puffs, like there are things, different beef sticks. These are going to be kind of like your more go-to snacks, I would say, if you need them. Um, Obviously, if there's other ones that you're like, I really want, again, Cheetos, let me know and I can figure out what it is for you. Because we do want you guys to be accurate on stuff. We had some requests for alcohol in there, so we updated this a little bit. We're all human. I'm not going to say don't drink, but I will say for this challenge, let's work on trying to pull back a little bit for it, only because those carb points are going to sneak up really, really fast. When it comes to tracking alcohols, there's no accurate way really to do it because alcohol is its own technically like macronutrient category. So what most people do and kind of standard practice for tracking it, because we do still want to track it, it is something that has calories that we're putting in your body, is to either pick carbs or fats and have it account for that. I made the decision for you guys to track it as carbs because every single person has more wiggle room on their carbs than they do on their fats. I didn't get a single person's food log so far who was at or under their fat kind of totals for the day. Everyone was 1.5 to 2 times over where their fats were. So we're not going to try to pick from that. when we have a little bit more wiggle room in the carbs. So, for the sake of this challenge, if you are having having a glass of wine on Friday or you're going to breweries on Saturday, whatever the case may be, track it as your carbs with it. If you know you're going to go out, what you're going to need to do is, because I didn't put alcohol in most of your guys' meal plans, what you're going to need to do is look at your day, say, hey, I know I want to go out tonight and I'm planning on having 2 glasses of wine. That means I need 2 carbs for it. So, what meal do I want to take that away from? So, we want to make sure that those totals are still staying the same if you are having fun and going out and doing that type of stuff with it. And then I also threw in some like non-alcoholic ones and then some common like condiments and sweeteners and salad dressings and stuff like that. All of this really long pages of lists are supplemental material for you guys. So you can use it if you want to build your own meals, if you want to figure out your own points and combinations that work for you, use this. To make it a lot easier, is this the right one? Yay. This is what you guys are going to be getting that'll kind of outline examples for you. So what I'm doing right now is taking all your guys' food logs, making it look nice and pretty so it's easy for everyone to see. I am then taking that and converting it into points. So you will get an itemized list. It's also going to say like breakfast, lunch, dinner of exactly what you had each day, what points you got from it, and what those totals looked like. So you'll be able to be like, oh my gosh, I did not realize that that beach bowl had that much fat in it. And all of a sudden now I'm over double on what my fat goal is for today. Or I thought that I was doing good because I had some salami in that bowl, but it looks like I'm not even close to getting my protein in. So it'll help you guys kind of become aware about where your gaps are based on the food logs that you sent me. From all of that, I'm going to give you a bunch of example meal plans. These are examples. They are built to fit your point totals. However, y'all are adults, like make adjustments, mix and match, combine them, adjust them, do what you got to do in order to hit those point totals. These are just, again, tools for you guys. So you'll be getting day 1 all the way down through day 7. If you told me that you eat 4 meals a day, it'll be breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. If you only eat twice a day, we'll adjust that. If you need to eat every 3 hours, we'll adjust that. So this will be based on however often you're going to be eating. You'll get a grocery list. It'll be all nice and pretty and laid out. If you want to get frozen chopped onions instead of regular ones, go for it. If you want to just add the egg whites into your regular eggs, go for it. You should be having quantities on here. That's one update that I got feedback from the last time, so that you'll literally just be able to go into the store or go into your grocery delivery and check, and go for it. I know that this time we do have a couple couples that are doing it. I'll touch base with you guys and see if you want me to make a like grocery list for your whole household, or if you guys want it still individual, or both. So I'll touch base with you guys later today and then get you that in whatever format you want. And then you have recipes that break down all of the different meals with it. So you'll be able to see, okay, that chicken bowl, these are my point totals, this is what goes in it, quick instructions on how to do, and then it'll go into the next one. Most of these meals are kind of just the basics. We're going your protein, your carbs, your fats, and a little bit of like flavor, whether that's soy sauce or salsa or taco seasoning or lemon and dill or whatever the flavor profile is. That does not mean that is all that you need to do, because if you just do that, they might turn out a little bland, and we want you to actually enjoy what you're eating. So if we go back, when this decides that it wants to cooperate, back into here, we have a giant recipe book that you can then go and like add in as you want to. This is also another place if you're like, I want to see what else is out there. Take a look. There's 80 recipes, some smoothies and shakes if you guys want to mix that up, different snacks, all that stuff. But the main thing that you'll probably be using is this like sauces and drizzles and seasoning area. Take a look at here. Make sure that you guys have something that's fun in your food. So that way, you're enjoying it and it's not becoming a chore to eat it and it actually tastes good because I know that for me, if I get something and it's like blander than bland, I'm most likely going to be ordering takeout right after. And we don't want to do that for this challenge. So these will all kind of be your outlines, but mix and match, add stuff to it. This will kind of give you some examples on, you know, ways that you can season it, different things that you could add, all that are not going to affect your point total at all, but will make it taste better. Different sauces that you can add, some seasonings that you can batch. So, again, ton of tools for you guys to kind of make nutrition how you want it to be. Um, that's kind of it. You'll have 3 examples of different plans that you can play around with. If you end up liking them, what I would do if I was in your shoes is do week 1, week 2, week 3, and then repeat it again for week 4, week 5, week 6. It tends to be an easy way to not have to think too much about it. And as you go on, I'm human, I make mistakes on these. If I accidentally put one of your like, do not give this to me foods on there, let me know so I can adjust it. If there's one that you're like, hey, I liked this, but can we find a different version of it? Let me know, I'll adjust it. Like all of these are continual work in progresses. The last big thing I want to talk about is mainly just the dining out part because I don't think it is realistic to assume that any of us are going to be cooking 3 meals a day, 7 days a week at home for 6 weeks. That's not life. We're busy. We have social lives. We're all going to be going out. This part of it is kind of how to do your best to stay on track with stuff while you're still eating out because that tends to be where people can really start to see some swings and dips is when they have 2 lunches back to back in that week and they just got their burger and fries and sauces and a milkshake and all of a sudden now going back to kind of how they want to be eating can feel a lot harder. So this breaks down different ways to build a plate, how to ask for different things, different substitutions that you can ask them to make. And then we start going into, I did a lot of the restaurants kind of in the immediate Irvine area. If you're going to True Foods, this is a pretty good option on stuff to get. If you're going to Sweet Greens, this might be a good idea. If it's your kids begging you for McDonald's and you gotta go, maybe try this option. So there's a lot that's out there with it. Again, also not fully covers everything, but it gives you a good jumping off spot to see what things you maybe didn't think to swap or adjust when it comes to eating out. And then if you're a big meal prepper or want to get into meal prepping, this is some stuff on kind of how to bulk prep that would basically just make it this is like the simple bread and butter of like, I want to cook my protein, my carbs, and have a fat. How do I do that? And this will give you some examples, some timelines, and then some combinations to do. And that is, in a very quick nutshell, all the nutrition resources that you guys are going to be getting later today/tomorrow, depending on when you get me the food logs. So took me a little bit longer to get all that than I thought. We got about 6 minutes. If we need to start another meeting, we totally can. But what questions do you guys have on anything related to the challenge? It can be one-off questions. It can be anything about the nutrition, just things that you need to make sure that it starts to go smoothly on Monday.
Hey, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a question about um, when should we stop eating, like at night? Like when's like the cap where it's like, hey, an hour before bed, 2 hours before bed, when it's one of those things where, like, for example, I have late class
Mm-hmm.
this quarter where I end school like at 8 o'clock and I won't get home till maybe 8:30. And I don't know if I'm gonna have dinner in class. So I might have dinner, then maybe like some more food before. What do you
Yeah,
recommend, and what's like the best
of
kind of
course.
stuff to digest? Because I know for myself, if I have like something too big or like a lot of plant protein, it's too much to digest. So,
Yeah.
anyways, question about that.
So for yours specifically, I'm actually working on your meal plan right now and kind of all your nutrition stuff. I'm gonna give you one example where we do like a heavier kind of protein shake in class because that'll give you a little bit more time for your body to work on digesting it since protein takes a little bit longer to get through. And then when you get home, it'll be kind of like some sort of light snack that should be a little bit easier for you. And we're front loading much more of your nutrition for like lunch, snack, and breakfast on those days. If you are able to eat in class, I'll also give you a couple examples of like what a dinner would like a no reheat, easy dinner to have in class, which then might mean that you don't need to have that snack after. So I'm going to kind of play around with your timelines on it. General rule of thumb, kind of across the board, is you don't want to be eating something that's crazy, like heavy, and really protein heavy within like a couple hours before bed, depending on how your body digests it. So, like with me, I always like having to get up at 4 a.m. to get to the gym. I eat dinner at 7:30. I go to bed 8:30 and I'm up at 4. And that's just the way that I know it has to be. So dinners tend to be smaller. They'll still have your protein, carbs, and fat, but they're just smaller quantities. Otherwise, it gets a little bit too heavy on my stomach. And I tend to have really big breakfast, like really big breakfast, and a pretty moderate lunch in order to make sure I'm still getting everything in during the day. It's kind of going to take a little bit of trial and error. There's a lot of misinformation that like you can't eat 3 hours before bed, otherwise all you're going to do is gain fat. And like it's not the timing of it, it's the fact that you're probably not making good choices right before you're going to bed because you're hungry and you're tired and you're gravitating towards stuff that's sweet or whatever the case may be. So people kind of put that out there as a way to stop, and then those habits don't develop. So like worst case scenario, it's not the end of the world if you need to eat at 8:30, right? And then like go to bed soon after that, assuming that your body can handle it and it's something a little bit, I would say, lighter, just as we're kind of making all the nutrition changes as a whole. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm like thinking about like I should have a much heavier breakfasts and lunch in general, but
Yeah.
yeah, thank
And
you.
that'll be kind of built into a lot of the stuff that you're going to be getting later today, is ways to front load it and ways to add an extra snack in and just get, let's go 70% of your nutrition in before you get going to class. So that way, one, it's already there, and then two, you're not stressing about it at night when stuff's already busy. Okay, any other questions on anything related to the challenge? Um, cool. So this is being recorded. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. I might pull the lesson to later today, just so that way you guys have it earlier if I can get it popped up into YouTube first. Um, please reference back to it. I know it was a lot of information right off the bat and a lot of new information. So take some time to digest it all. I can guarantee you that when you guys get your nutrition stuff, more questions are going to pop up. So touch base with me. Let me know. Like I said, I will be around all weekend. We can hop on calls. We can just text. I want to make sure that you guys are in a good spot for Monday. Your programs will be at the gym on Monday. Make sure you don't need to do an in-body scan this upcoming Monday. You'll start that the following Monday since we haven't made any changes from that initial one that you guys gave to me. I'm going to stay on for the last minute or so. So if there's any other questions that pop up, go for it. But otherwise, you guys are good to go. And I will be touching base with you later to get you guys all your nutrition stuff.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.